Hi, everyone. We love to invite you to join this space with us. If you don't already know, this month is all about the nervous system. So we're going to be touching base today, talking about how to maintain your chi and energy through yoga, breath work, any kind of practices that you might have. So let's get started. I'm Melania,
Yes.
if you guys didn't know.
I'm Grace.
I'm Alyssa.
I'm King. Hello.
Sometimes I'm Alyssa, sometimes I'm Neff, so you gotta get used to both names. It just
Yeah.
depends on the moment.
Amen.
Yeah. Beautiful. But yeah, we're gonna really talk about a lot of practices today, like Melania said, so you guys can get an idea of just like tasting different things, because everyone has their own thing and people will connect with like either, like Melania said, breath work, and some people connect with yoga really well, or some people love to chant, and some people love drumming, and some people love cold therapy like all of us. So there's a lot of ways that we can really dive into keeping balanced in your lifestyle. And yeah, excited to talk about this topic today because I have been through the big waves of not being able to maintain my energy. And it's a hard process to go through when you don't know how to keep that balance.
Exactly. A lot of the new age right now is talking about manifestation, getting everything that you dream of. How can I get that next thing? And I think that the thing that I've learned in this past little while is you can have it all, but can you maintain your chi and your energy to actually deal with everything that comes with your dreams coming to reality? So I think that this is an important topic for us to touch on, starting with our nervous system, because I definitely do need a little bit of help. We all do sometimes. So let's jump in, baby.
Yes. And I think too with balance, it ties into everything that we do in every way. Like I know a lot of people will have heard of the yin and yang, and that yin and yang, or the masculine and the feminine, or the white and the black, or whatever, it ties into everything, the light and the shadow, right? And when one thing is overruling another, like Melania's saying, if you're abundance manifesting, perhaps inorganically, not actually with things that you need, and you're getting, how are you actually giving? There always needs to be the balance. Otherwise we'll fall into patterns, habits that don't truly align to our highest self, to the person that we truly want to be on this planet. And yeah, it's a practice in every way, shape, and form every day. It can be subtle, it can be huge, but yeah, there's so much that ties into this topic.
Yeah, because I can I think me and King have both been through this as an entrepreneur, us entrepreneurs have a lot of energy usually, right? And you can just go in one direction, all in, baby, and totally drop everything else that keeps balance in your life and just focus on that one thing. And I was totally like that, and you just keep hitting the wall after the wall and you just burn out, right? Then you just drop the thing that you just dropped everything else for. And it's a disaster. You need balance for stability. You need balance for a strong foundation. I would say that's probably one of the keys to having a strong foundation in the first place. So yeah, if you've got big dreams, if you're an entrepreneur, if you just want a healthy lifestyle, like Grace is saying, that translates into so many areas of your life, you need to master balance. Yeah.
What does balance look like, guys, for you guys?
Yeah, for me, kind of just what I just said, not getting too excited about something that you don't maintain your foundational flow throughout the day. So for me, balance is I have to take my vitamins that day. I have to get my meditation in that day. I have to either get out to the cold river or do something physical that day, whether that's a little jog, little 15-minute jog, pick up my weights. There's certain non-negotiables that I have. And obviously, like, there might be a day once a week or twice a week that I don't get to one of those things on my list. As long as I'm like still maintaining and doing most of those things every day, then I have balance in my life. And I've noticed it's probably been the like past 2 years where we've been healing a lot that I've finally like broken through that barrier of like not hitting that wall anymore. And a big piece of that is patience, right? Like we can all, like with manifestation, or like even with me and my big projects, you just want to be there. And like that's an unhealthy like way to live, because you're not like in the moment. You're not just like enjoying the process of cultivating whatever you're cultivating and like living this beautiful life. You're just so focused on like, I need that and I want to be there. You know, and I think I actually had this realization, guys, like probably sometime this week. And I was like, I noticed and got like came into awareness of the fact that like I haven't been living in that state of like wanting to like, for us wanting to be like, you know, creating the project or anything anymore. I haven't been like, oh, I wish we were there. And it was like, oh, wow, like I'm actually just living my life and like enjoying each part of the process. And I was like, that is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So for me, balance is also very similar. And it's really that having that foundation of, you know, the routine that you have. Because, you know, routine is not, you know, I feel like it has a bad connotation, like discipline. But I've read in this book, if you really look at it as and think of it as like you being the disciple of yourself. And, you know, once I had that and I had that realization of, you know what, okay, yeah, I'm going to follow this for myself. And, you know, sometimes also life happens and you can't, you know, maybe you can't do that workout meditation for a couple of days, but it's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world. And I love saying that because for me, like, I have like this tension of like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. But, you know, and if it doesn't get done, I have this anxiety for whatever reason. But then when I heard you say that, I'm like, hey, you know, she's right. What am I so afraid of? And then it really just, you know, opened up something to me. But balance is really, you know, finding that space between that good and bad, you know, that yin and yang, dancing in between, you know, being able to flow with whatever happens in that life. But also, you know, you have your map, you have your direction, you know where you're going, you know where you are in the moment, and just being able to really experience this moment, accepting now and knowing where you want to go. You know, if that makes sense. It's like being here now, knowing where you want to go, and loving this moment and not wishing that you were there. I wish I was there, you know, like, yeah, and enjoying this moment, this now, because you know, it's a blessing to be in this moment, in this now. Yeah, balance.
Yeah. 100%. And balance too, as you go through your life, like different things come into your life. Like with the launch of Astrano, it's been so much new stuff for us.
Yes,
a whole new, like your life shifts, the important things shift. And it's interesting because you can always make new room or have things kind of leave and like there's always this ebb and flow. And with the birthing of Astrano, it's been this new venture on, okay, what is the balance now? Okay, it's a different workload, it's some priorities have to shift. But that's the beautiful thing about life, is that it's never boring. It's never like, okay, I got my routine, I got my stuff, it's good. Like that would be a very boring way of experiencing this lifetime. So too, it's like there has to be this grace period, this grace to be like, okay, I know this is happening, and maybe, we beat ourselves up a lot. Or I think most people do, right?
Yeah.
You beat yourself up a lot.
Definitely.
I didn't get that thing done. I didn't do this. And it's, if we can just love ourselves, which I mean is such, I feel bad saying that. Like, it's not just love yourself. Okay, done. But if we can just honor the experience and give reverence to, okay, this is the experience right now, then we can give way to so much, just like honoring what we're going through, and the balance will come over time, right? And too, I wanted to say balance is created, I believe, through structure in some ways, a little bit of structure, a little bit of routine, like Nef was saying, and then it's nourished with flow. It's nourished with, allowing yourself to, how am I feeling today? Is that really important to me today? So just being in your body all the time. What do I need? What do I need? How am I feeling? How am I feeling? You know, it's a new practice for people to try.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Yeah, that like ties in perfectly. Like I wrote that down too for today's notes, just like recommending to people to check in with your body like 3 times a day. And like, yeah, because, and then with the flow thing, she's 100% right. Because I've noticed even entrepreneurially, like when I like push to like get a website developed just because I want it developed, even though like maybe like there's misalignments, like you'll see with like paths that you're not meant to take at that time, things will go wrong. Like there'll be like, and then, you know, I would just drive through those things and be like, oh, who cares? You know, like I want to get this done and use my manifestation power and I will manifest it. But then I'll realize after like, oh, that wasn't meant to happen at this time. And I just wasted my time. So a great way, like Grace is saying, like check in with yourself. Like if you're getting red flags about certain, like taking certain paths, listen to that because that's the flow telling you like, no, not yet, or this is not open yet. Like, you know, follow the flow. And I've noticed that as soon as I started following the flow in my life, like that's when a lot of balance came in. I have so much more energy. I'm not running out of energy because I'm not pushing into directions that I wasn't supposed to go yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of energy, like what's your ways, guys, to maintain your energy throughout the day? Alyssa, I know you're very energetic, and this one thing that I love about you is that I get inspired for that with that. Something that I do, guys, is number one is the food that you eat and sleep. So one thing that I've experimented for a while is my sleep cycle. You know, how long do I need to sleep to maintain that energy throughout the day? You know, because I think that's important. You know, most people think sleep is, you know, like it's not that important. You can get coffee for some, yeah, but for me, I've learned that I need at least like 6 to 7 hours to really function. And how I structure my day is I would plan it, and then I would think of like, okay, how much energy would this require of me mentally and physically? And then, you know, it's like that routine, right? And then sometimes it works, you know, sometimes it happens, sometimes life happens. So it's just adapting to that to the situation. But yeah, that's something that I do to maintain the energy level that I have. So it's just knowing, like when I start my day, I know what I'm gonna do till I get to my bed. So like that whole day is planned out, and you know, relaxing, being, you know, your time alone, that's also included. Like I would put in like, okay, 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm just gonna be alone. I have no agenda. I'm just gonna be whatever, you know, and that's fun too. That's the thing. I think it's balance. Is part of being balanced is having no agenda. You know, like you spend some time with really whatever happens, and I think that's the most fun thing to do because it's like, oh, anything can happen. You know, yeah.
Yeah, leaving the door open to whatever comes through.
100%.
And the rest period's huge for me too, because I'm a little bit more introverted than extroverted. So I find that when I'm around people for long periods of time, I just get really drained because, you know, I don't know, I'm just sensitive in that way. So taking the time to, okay, I need to spend, sometimes it's, if I've been out a lot, it's okay, I'm taking this whole day. I'm not seeing anybody just to recharge. And I think too, giving yourself that, okay, this is allowed, you know. I think with balance, it comes with a lot of, you need to give yourself permission because people think it needs to be rushed. You need to go. You can't relax. You can't, like, especially in North America, it's very business orientated, work orientated, get the money, blah, blah, blah. And where is the time to maintain balance? You know, I think balance is very Eastern, you know, it's very like nourish yourself, you know, the body, the mind, it's all connected and all this stuff. So like King said, for me, balance is very much so, I love my family. Okay, guys, I'm taking 3 hours. I'm not gonna see you just for a little bit. Okay, I'll come back, but I'm gonna be gone. Please don't come into my space.
Yes.
I love you. I'll talk to you soon. And giving yourself that permission fully, you know, we need it. So that's a big one for me, is space to myself.
I love that. Do not disturb sign
Yeah.
on the door.
support
Yeah, we're gonna need those when we all live together on our community
Yeah.
land, eh?
Oh God. Sign up.
Sock on the door or something.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
a little like, do not enter.
Come back in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Melania? What does balance look like for you?
I think if I can take a second and really just take a deep breath and just come back to myself, I think that is really the biggest sense of balance that I can have. It's not easy. Like King was saying, I'm going to do what you said, King. I'm going to schedule my days from now on and think about my energy. I think of my energy kind of as spoons. Someone said this to me one time and it's stuck with me up until now, but you only have so many spoons that you can give to others or in a day. So say you have like 10 spoons, and this conversation with my mom might need like 5 spoons. So for me, breath, yeah.
For real, yes.
For
I
me,
love
breath
that.
work is like what keeps me on the ground, because I just know if I can take a deep breath, I can just bring myself back to to a comfort and to a place where I know what it's going to be like there. So it's just me in my own self. I love that.
You can regain some spoons with your breath work.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think like having a healing practice or something that can be your outlet. Because like my belief is, like, we've kind of talked about this in our media one about like, TV and high beta and how they like keep us so busy on this earth. And the reason for that is because if we're so busy, like we don't have awareness, like when we slow down, of how much trauma is in the body, or like, oh my God, like I'm not enjoying this life at all. Like there is something really wrong about the way that we're living and running our planet, right? So keeping busy has become like a trauma response. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's really hard for people to like slow down enough to have balance, because they're just like, they're using that as a trauma response. Like, I gotta stay busy, I gotta keep going, I gotta cook dinner, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, file this, blah blah blah, right? Like the list never stops. And so if you don't take that time to stop, then you know what I mean, you're just going to be living in that trauma 24/7. So it's important to have like a healing practice like breath work, or like cold therapy, where you can calm the nervous system enough so that you're not scared of having balance in your life, because a lot of people will like be scared of actually having balance at this point because they're so used to being busy.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Like a lot of us, not a lot of us, but like some people, even for me sometimes, it's like when I was getting started with the healing journey, I've gotten so used to like that, like work, nonstop work, that when I had that time to like relax, I actually like felt like sick. I'm like that guilt. I'm like, I feel guilty for some reason. Like I feel guilty for not working more. And I'm like, what the heck is this?
Right.
Like what is going on? And that was when I had that awareness first came in. I was like, whoa, this is not right. And I did some work, and now it's like, now I'm thankfully that I'm able to really enjoy it and really honor that space and time of just relaxation, because it's really important.
I think too, it's a part of like our ability to adapt. Like I think humans, maybe psychology wise, I think we kind of like having something, and then we really like put all of ourselves into it, and then if things change, we're like, what? No, I can't change this. I think it's the ego. But even if I have like a couple busy days and then I try to relax, it's interesting. It's interesting to witness, because you're like, no, I don't want to sit down and meditate and relax. I don't know. It just brings up that like cringy, like, ugh, feel my body. I don't want to.
Like, I want to go do this. I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, maybe it's okay to do it, but really listen to the body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
because the body has its own intelligence, and it's so powerful.
And it's good to like we're saying, like you can be run by your traumas, you know, you can be run by your ego, and your body is just has its own natural intelligence going on. So it's a good way to like check in with your body just to make sure that, you know, because sometimes when we talk to ourselves in our mind, we're dealing with traumas or we're dealing, like I'm saying, with the ego. So it can be hard to like differentiate around like what's truly best for me in this moment. And the body's always going to give you the truth. So it's like, yeah, definitely powerful to, be guided by the body when you feel like you're in your mind or ego or lost a little bit.
And tying it back to the 3-time check-in, like 3 daily times you're checking into your body, because if you're going, not in your body, once you return, you're probably going to have quite a few things that are going to be like screaming at you.
Yeah.
You didn't pay attention to me. And all of a sudden it's like this big confrontation where it's like, oh God, like it's like the big talk with your mom. It's like, how many spoons is this going to use right now? So
Surprise!
It doesn't
overwhelm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we should go through everyone's like favorite practice that creates the most balance and chi, you know, management and just energy, life force management within your life. So we can give people kind of just something to take away and do.
Sure. Okay, I'll start. So, couple things for me. The first one is meditation. You know, I do a little bit of 15 to 30 minutes of meditation every day in the morning and in the evening. Working out, you know, just moving my body and, you know, just really allowing myself to play and have fun in my body. So sometimes I would play music and I would just make the craziest move I can think of, like whatever happens, you know, and it's just allowing the energy to flow throughout my body. And the second one is, this is for the guys. It's called Nofap. Most of you probably heard this, but you know, stop watching porn, don't masturbate, because what it does is it's gonna keep your energy in, because semen is essentially life force. One drop of it could create a human being. So if you have that in you, for me, the benefits that I've seen is that the fatigue was gone. You know, the longer you keep it, the more energy you will have, mental clarity. Your skin is also glowing, and all the other stuff that you can research on this and Google. But that's one practice that you can do. And yeah, really those 3 pillars, you know, and also food. You know, just being able to find your balance in food and allowing yourself to enjoy a healthy meal, but also sometimes having those cheat days, you know, when you're craving something or whatever, you give yourself, you know, maybe once a week, once a month, whatever's right for your body that you feel is good at that moment, do that. Yeah, those is for me.
Yeah. Those are all really good. Mine are pretty similar. Movement is huge for me. We'll talk about this in the next podcast, but movement it's huge in balance because it allows you to literally fling off any excess energy you have stuck inside of you, any dense emotion that's stuck inside of you. If you're moving your body, you are literally moving energy. That's all you are, your energy. So you're moving energy. And it's huge for balance because we're resting a lot of the time. We're a sitting society right now, unfortunately. So the movement is incredibly powerful for your health, for your mental clarity, for your, you know, anxiety, depression. You want to move that energy. That's a big one for me. And another one is probably like self-care, which it sometimes is hard to do, but it's a big one because it really requires you to slow down and return to yourself and give yourself deep love, deep unconditional love. So something I really like to do, this isn't really balance related, but dry brushing. It's a process of taking a dry brush and you kind of just go up your body towards your heart. And it's a process of slowing down and nourishing yourself. And then meditation, of course, is included in that self-care. Providing for yourself, and because we're go, you know, give, but you, like, how are you receiving in terms of you, like you yourself, how are you giving to yourself, receiving from yourself, because we can receive from ourselves too, of course. So those are big for me. And I find after I take care of myself and even just look at myself in the mirror for like 5 minutes, like, hey, how you doing? you will be recharged.
Mhm.
Just seeing yourself, feeling yourself fully. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that. It's fun to look at yourself in the mirror, hey? It's intense, man. You go through a lot in that 5 minutes you're staring at yourself in the mirror.
Hello, me. How are you?
It's like, oh, shit. It's beautiful. I really recommend that practice. I love that. Yeah, for me, like the main one, like kind of like these guys already mentioned, but like life force energy is in the sacral. It's in the root chakra, right? That's our base. That's our foundation. That's our balance. All of these things are really in the lower chakras. So first things first is doing the healing in those areas is really going to help. Create more balance in your external life. You'll experience more balance if you just go into the sacral chakra, go into the root chakra, which are going to be the bottom two, okay, in the ovary, pelvic, genital area. And you can just start clearing energy, and that's going to really help. So you guys can come to us. We've got the community space opening up where you guys are going to do the daily meditations with us. And that is that'll be the same thing. Like we get the healing work done energetically, right? The active healing work. But my biggest thing is probably like, how do you start your day off? Because that's your foundation, right? For every day, the foundation is the first hour. So for me, like I've noticed I'll be like flustered and really off balance and really just drained already if I start the day off wrong, which would be like, jumping on my phone right away and like doing business stuff right away or, getting sucked into that side of life. It's way better to just start your day off in an organic way, which would be like go right out for a walk for like 15 minutes or prepare your beautiful breakfast and like talk to your food, like put lots of love into your food and connect with that natural like life form and just try to stay within and as close to natural life as you can and like away from technology and artificial life would be my biggest recommendation. Like go outside and just bless the earth. Thank you so much for this beautiful day. Go and hug the trees, get your bare feet on the ground. Like if you start every day off like that, like you're already killing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're going to be ahead of everybody if you do that. So that would be like probably my biggest one. And second one would be I love to fast. I think fasting is really, really important. I think that we're meant to fast at least for like 1 day or 2 days a month. Or however, whatever time frame like resonates most with you, do that. But it really resets the body, resets the energy, gives the body that space to like clear out any of the old that it needs to clear out and flush out, right? And it's like so powerful and it gives me like so much energy, like more than anything else, more than vitamins, more than eating really well, more than anything. Like if I want energy and to reset my body, it's like go onto a water fast for 1 to 3 days. Recently I've been trying to like push into the 3-day zone and I just love it. Like by the 3rd day, you have so much energy. You'd be surprised even though you haven't ate for like, 3 full days. So that would be my other one.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
I definitely was going to say like what you do to start your day off. So for me and Alyssa, I think we both share this commonality. If I start my day wrong, you have a lot of, obviously it's not going to be a crappy day if you start it wrong, but it will affect the way that you can maintain that energy. So for me, if I'm going on my phone and I'm just like swiping through Instagram at 8 o'clock in the morning, that's not the way that I maintain my chi. So I have to, like Neff said, doing things for myself. There's this beautiful tree that is right outside my window. So every morning I've just been looking outside the window. I leave it a crack open like this so I can see it on purpose in bed. And I just look out the window and we talk to each other and we just, how's it going? Is it going to be an amazing day for me today? And we just chit chat. And that's one thing that I love to do in the morning. But yeah, usually it makes me feel good to just do those kinds of things. And meditation in the morning, if you have the chance, like a 10-minute is what really brings me a lot of balance in my life. I also love to just throw the ball for my dog. That makes me so happy.
Oh, yeah, doing those things right in the morning, right? Like the things that like just light you up. Like it's so important. Like, yeah. That first hour does like connect to the rest of the day in some way. You know what I mean? So if you can start it off really beautifully.
I want to try doing not talking for like the first hour of the day that I'm
Ooh.
awake.
That's a good one.
Ooh, that's a
Just
really
like
good idea.
maintaining. That's our next. That's the
That
next
can be
one I
our
wanna
next
try.
challenge for Astrano regeneration, you know, for the crew and stuff. Yeah, you guys should jump in there. It's going to be amazing. We're going to do lots of fasting and extra challenges and stuff like that. We'll support you guys through. So
It's kind of cool.
I'm so
Fasting
excited.
with words.
fasting with words. Ooh, that's good, Malahe. Fasting with words, no talking.
That's a big one because people talk, and a lot of the times you don't know what you're even saying. You're just like blah 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 blah. Like as soon as it comes into your mind, it's out your mouth, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very conscious practice of thinking before I speak, listening too. I think we're a society of talkers, not listeners. You know, people say if you find someone that can actually listen to you, it's like a gem.
It's probably
Yeah.
because people talk so much, though. Your brain kind of is like, okay, I'm not important. Too
Yeah.
much to like.
It's like that.
kind
yeah.
of like a yin yang thing. Of
Yeah.
like, yeah, we need to talk less, listen more. You know.
There's this I don't know where I found this, but there's this exercise or practice that says speak 50% less and move 50% less and then speak a mantra. And sometimes I do it throughout the day and really experiment, and it's so cool because then, you know, when I have that thing in front of my head, I catch myself before speaking. I'm like, oh, and then I would think of something else to say, and you know, it's really cool because it's like, oh, I notice I can see my mind working, and it's like, oh, so this is what my mind contains. And that's when something that you can really see, because this is the thing, when you think, overthinking, it consumes energy. How you know how you normally speak, just slow it down a bit. When you walk, take your time to, you know, walk and notice your steps, like, you know, step here. When you're eating, that's another thing that's, I think, it's a great balance. To create balance is when I eat, I try to really eat like no phones, no nothing, just being with my food. And sometimes it's hard because, you know, we're go, right? We just want to, like, 5 minutes, gotta get it all, go, done. But, you know, what I'm learning, it's actually not really healthy for you in the body. But I haven't done much research to talk about it right now. But yeah, just the mindfulness, the being, you know, try eating 30 minutes. Just eat for 30 minutes and really just be with your food, and also say grace to it. Thank it, you know, like, man, thank you, food. Like, you're feeding my soul, my body, my mind. And yeah, those things are really cool to try.
Probably preserves a ton of energy too. When you're like, when you said walking, I'm walking here. Like, it sounds so nice. Like, or it's like, go, eat, you know? And it's just like slow. Imagine how much energy you'd have.
And I have heard that about food too. When you consciously eat food versus when you just like scarf it in and you're not even, like, maybe you're watching TV or you're not even like paying attention to your food, you're going to get a lot less value and energy, even life force from that food if you eat it unconsciously, because it's going to hold that frequency now of like anxiety or, you know, unconsciousness, and you're not being grateful towards it. You're not paying attention to it. You're not seeing it, you know, like if you love it while you're eating it, it's going to really nourish you.
100%.
Ain't that the truth?
And Melania's our queen of that over there. She really loves making food, and she like makes the best of the best, baby.
I miss it. My goodness.
Seriously.
I've been so obsessed with salad dressings lately. That's my new niche.
Oh my
love
God,
it.
that's
Yum.
awesome.
Salad dressing?
Interesting.
I want you to get obsessed with brewing tea too, because me and Grace just had the best tea at our women's thing the other day, and I'm like, we need to learn how to make tea like that, because that was delicious.
Drew
No,
and
I
I
don't
here.
even know
Yeah.
what it was.
Just
So
need
good.
one of those. How did they do it? Did they do it over the fire at the women's
He
retreat?
pre-made it and then brought it, but it was just a bunch of, obviously, I think he just uses certain herbs and he'll create his own tea, and then he kind of brews it up with lots of love probably, and then honey and lemon and I don't know, ferment
Wow.
stuff too. Like he's got a lot of processes, but I was like, ooh, we need to learn how to make tea like this because it's delicious.
Yes.
You can just go out for little scavenge
Yes.
hunts
Go foraging.
for rose hips. I miss the rose hips.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Imagine
But I
foraging
was
in
just
BC.
There is so much here. Yeah, there's so much here. I was
Oh,
just
Lord.
gonna end off by saying there's this breathwork technique that I kind of wanted to share. It's really quick.
Mm-hmm.
That you can kind of use in any situation. If you're feeling stressed, if you just need a few minutes to yourself, you can just go be in private somewhere and just take some deep breaths. So I think we've done this one before. It's actually not deep breaths. It's kind of shallow ones. So you do 8 shallow breaths followed by like a big exhale. And if you do that for a few minutes, so it kind of goes like this. You can do that for like 3 minutes and you'll feel like you're on cloud 9. So that's a little chi.
Oh, that's an
Chi,
interesting one. Do you have the name for
have
that
you
one?
guys- have you done
sorry,
that?
how
We've
many
done that
times?
together.
8 times.
So you do 8 shallow breaths followed by the exhale. And you continue on. You could do it for like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever you have time for. And it's just the wildest. Anything you were feeling a few minutes ago is gone. And yeah, it's
That's
incredible.
amazing.
That's beautiful.
That's my fave one. Yeah.
Cool. If you're listening to this right
Anyways.
now, you better do that right away.
Right now.
Right after.
Do it. Do it now.
Write us a
new thing.
comment. Tell me how it feels.
Yeah,
Living on cloud 9. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys, to our weekly podcast. I hope you guys stay tuned because we have so much more coming this month for the nervous system.
Yeah.
We love you all so much. Thank you for sharing this
love.
space with me.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. Until
Peace.
next time.